I believe we're live right now. Matter of fact.
Oh, we're live.
All right.
Ruh-roh. I can't share anything out. You're going to have to do that.
I'm not sharing shit. I'll share it later.
Fine, yeah.
I'll share it later. We're just doing a quick 10-minute video and we'll share it. So no big deal. And it was impromptu and it was like necessary and needed. And it's like, holy crap. What the hell is going on here?
Hey,
I'm.
Who did we just interview?
Who did we just interview? We just interviewed Bill Ottman from Mines about no fapping and stuff.
That was great.
That was so awesome.
I can't wait to chop up that one.
All right, so I don't know how y'all feel about this. I've noticed we've been doing a ton of research trying to figure out what happened, how it happened, who's on who, what side are you on, all that bullshit.
Confusing as hell.
Oh my God, it's not even confusing. It's just there's so many elements to this whole situation up in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yeah, so much to unpack.
And I've heard somebody even call, what's his name, Ritterman. Yeah. Let me make sure I got my notes here. So we got We got Kyleittenhouse is his name.
Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse, the guy that was shooting,
people, pedophiles.
So you got two completely different paradigms, like completely different silos of information going on.
Right.
You've got one side over here is talking about Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist who's just going there for trouble. He's a 17-year-old snot-nosed kid. He's going there to just fire into crowds and start trouble.
Yeah.
He had no reason to be there, and I'm like trying, and when I try to ask for the proof, I'm getting this kind of run around like, oh, you can just tell, all the evidence is there. Anybody who fires on a crowd of protesters is a white supremacist, and since you're defending him, you're a white supremacist. And I'm like, no, I wasn't defending him. I'm just asking questions. So I got called a white supremacist and a commie both in the same day. That's weird. That's how you know you're thinking for yourself, people.
Fucking
ridiculous. And so we start looking into it, and then that was one silo. Then you go on the other side of the silo, and you got this like people holding this kid up as like a grand hero of the new movement. Like he's the biggest, baddest MFer in the whole realm right now because he battled them commies and took down 2 of them. Good, they deserved it. Like that's probably not accurate. But that's probably not the right way to look at it either.
Right, but here's the thing though: is like we keep constantly telling people, let both of these stories evolve. Let the details come out of what really happened. I elaborated on this on 2 different, videos that I did over the last, 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And everybody keeps saying that an unarmed black man was almost fatally shot. Well, we gave it a couple of days. Guess what? He was armed.
And the narratives are still strong as ever. And that's what we're talking about. Is once the narratives are out, once you
can't convince the people otherwise.
Once the truth comes out, it's too late already.
I know.
That there's a lot of truth to be said in the fact that a lie can make it around the world before the truth has a chance to get its pants on.
Yep.
There's a reason that's a thing, and it's a reason that's a saying, and it's so true.
Yep.
And it's like, holy crap, guys! Nobody's stopping and taking a breath. Everybody's already super worked up. Everybody's super tense, and the situation's getting worse.
Yep.
And I even titled your video that you sent me and we posted, are we past the point of words at this point?
We are.
Because even when the opposite side is presented with the facts, okay, Kyle Rittenhouse was attacked first. All indications are he was in fact attacked first.
Yes. And I'm still seeing it on my Facebook news feed that this kid, is to blame for all this. And I'm thinking, did you actually go back and watch the full? See, that's the problem. People aren't paying attention. They're not doing the research. They're not taking the time to actually understand what transpired that led up to the events in which they did. It doesn't make what he did was right. I mean, because for all intents and purposes, he's going to be charged with at least a Class A misdemeanor for carrying a weapon under the age of 18.
Maybe. And that's part of what we looked up. And the videos are coming out that he was actually there acting in a capacity of like a medic.
Right.
I think based on if you want to follow along with the research we've got so far, head over to our Discord. The links are in anywhere you can find them because I've been posting them.
Social issues is what it's under.
But if you go to the social issues tab, follow our research so far. Follow the community's been great. Especially
very helpful.
Especially a couple people have gone into the legal stuff, and it's like, well, it seems like yes, it's illegal to carry a firearm in those states under the age of 18. Except under these conditions. And one of those such conditions might be if he's working in a capacity as like an EMS or something like where he's been trained and he's certified and he's allowed to do it. Now, based on my just viewing of the video, seeing how he did it, slowing it down and seeing step by step what actually, you know, the play by play, so to speak, this kid does not know how to use a firearm that well. Sorry, that sounded weird. He is very well versed in how to use that rifle.
Oh, absolutely.
He knew what he was doing.
Here's the Call of Duty.
I don't think you. Well, I don't think you're that well trained and are out there with a firearm illegally.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You more than likely. Now, I haven't confirmed this. More than likely have the certification to be able to do that. The video we saw had him standing there being, you know, people was asking, why are you out here with that gun and all that? He's like, listen, I'm here. I've got my medic bag. He's showing that I got my pistol in case, because I'm going into these high pressure situations where my life might be in danger. I need it to protect myself.
Right.
Perfectly reasonable, logical. I get it.
We're not defending the kid for what he did. We're just trying to explain to people the breakdown of what transpired and what took place.
Right.
Because the problem we're seeing right now, the way that everything is, again, and this is something I kind of alluded to in my last two videos, is that everybody sees that 30-second clip and they're only taking it for face value.
Oh, hell, that clip
That's all it needs.
What the Jacob Blake, 18 seconds of video. Everybody's in an uproar.
Everything's burning.
The Covington Catholic kid.
Yeah.
Not Nathan Phillips. Nathan Phillips was the Indian guy.
Nick Sandman.
Nick Sandman. And yeah.
How many more?
That wasn't even a clip. That was a photo.
That
was a photo. And that even got people on the conservative side pissed off.
I know.
And they were all eating their words after that.
But what is it? I mean, how many lessons need to be learned here before people start to reel it back a little bit and to say, hang on, hang on. Let's think about this for a second. You know, there's got to be more to this than what we're seeing or what we've been told thus far. And this is why it's highly important for people to take that time out and let facts kind of present themselves. Then you can make a decision on how you feel based on facts, not off just a raw emotion, because it's going to get you in trouble. And it has with people. And we've been seeing it. People are dying because of it.
Right, no shit.
This is what I'm struggling with. How hard is this? This was not racially motivated. This killing of this man that went back to his SUV was not racial. It's not. Like, how do you convince the general public that it's not? I've listened to the 911 call.
You don't.
I listened to it.
You've got the calcified lenses on, man. They've got the calcified lenses. I'm telling you.
When I listened to the 911 call, the first thing I thought was, okay, well, they know that he had an open warrant, and they were responding to a domestic dispute with his girlfriend over a set of keys. This had nothing to do with race.
Yeah.
This was an altercation that cops were responding to, okay?
Yeah, it wasn't like they just pulled up and seen some dude. Like the narrative right now is the cops pulled up trying to, you know, like this guy was just there trying to separate two people that were fighting, and he was just going on his merry way. He was unarmed, getting in his vehicle with his kids, and all these sympathy strings you can pull.
Why do we keep doing this with people? Why do we keep thinking that they're unarmed black people, unarmed white people, and they think that they are God's saints? They've never done anything wrong. There is a reason why you resist. When you have an open warrant out on your ass, you don't want to go to jail.
Right.
You are purposely trying to get away because that's the last place you want to go to.
Not to cut you off, but I kind of want to keep it centered on the Kenosha incident for this particular video, if that's all right. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I get that. But everything kind of leads to where we're at now.
Right.
Everything's got breadcrumbs that lead to where this stems from. And people, and I hate this because you have to go all the way back in order to get to where you are now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. And you're talking about years of propaganda to even get you to this point. To where all you can see is this kid was a white supremacist kid going in and shooting people, peaceful protesters.
Right.
And
but
what was that CNN headline we just heard about? Where they were talking about. We haven't had a chance. We've been nonstop busy with interviews, but talking about a fiery protest is mostly peaceful.
Yeah,
is what the CNN
like the
headline
fucking
was?
City in the background has just been set ablaze.
Right, and they're still trying to convince people that it's this double think, this 1984 style double speak, and. What I wanted to point out...
I love how we're called the crazy ones.
I know. What I want to point out is okay. Becky says love the shirt. Check this out. We've got. I do want to give a play-by-play on what when you see in the video of Kyle running from the mob. I'll just call it a mob. That's what it is. He had already shot somebody in the head. That somebody had already thrown a Molotov cocktail or some flaming piece of something. Or
No, the Molotov cocktail was thrown at him first. Let's get that right.
That's what I'm saying. It was thrown at him. He turned around and was still trying to run away. They were still chasing him down. He turned around, fired. Guy got hit in the head, right. So when you see the video of him then running down the street away from like 20, 30 people.
And that was the only thing at the time that ever came out. That was the only clip that we saw.
Right. So he turns around. Now, I'm going to give a play-by-play because this is kind of how I saw it. He falls to the ground. They are coming on him, getting on him. Then you hear gunshots. You see him scatter. They break away. He's already shot one guy in the stomach at this point, I believe. Yes,
he shot a guy in the chest.
Right,
and then he shot another guy.
The guy that hit him with the
skateboard was shot in the chest.
Shot him in the chest.
Right.
The guy with the skateboard was Anthony Huber. Okay, shot in the arm.
No. He was a skateboarder. He was the one that died.
Not skateboarder. So, anyway, there's too many details. Okay, we'll get the details straight. We will. But what I saw happen was somebody that was very skilled in using a firearm.
You don't chase people with a weapon. What the fuck is wrong with
First of all, people are chasing him. His life could have been, and probably was, in danger. They pinned him. They knocked him over, got him on the ground. He fired. They backed up. Then the guy that got shot in the arm, he pretends to surrender while Kyle's pointing the gun at him. Kyle did not fire. He could have. Kyle did not fire. Notice Kyle did not fire center mass. Easy shot. Where did Kyle fire? Well, where the guy started to lunge at him, after he pretended to surrender.
The same hand that had the gun.
The hand that had the gun in it, the pistol, that's where Kyle fired. Kyle knew what the fuck he was doing.
Yep.
Okay? Then, what was it? Somebody else is, hands up. Kyle stands up, makes sure he's safe, turns around and takes off.
And what people need to understand.
I'm sorry, if he was just there firing into the crowd, you would not have been that disciplined with your firearm.
Correct.
He only fired. Notice, he only fired when he was in imminent danger.
Correct. That's how it ought to be. That's how it is.
I'm sorry. Any jury that looks at this in the frame by frame and says that this is anything but self-defense has lost their fucking mind.
Yep, he's going to walk on this. And here's the thing: when he was walking towards the police with his hands up. He was actually letting them know that, hey, I'm coming to you. I'm not a threat. This is how it's done, okay? You got one man who has a knife that struggles with police, gets 7 bullets in the back.
You come and find out that guy was struggling with police ahead of time behind the vehicle. You got another shot. The situation was already tense on that one. When you see the view from behind the SUV, where he's already on the ground, police are already struggling with him. He gets up, walks around, and the girl, you can tell it in the tone of their voice. This situation is already super tense.
Yeah, because I think they already knew, or they already had a feeling. They saw the altercation, which we didn't see at first.
Right.
They saw the altercation go down, was probably trying to plead with him to stop, because in the back of their mind, they knew what was going to end up happening.
Something just dawned on me. You notice how the original clip, when it first came out, was 18 seconds of silent video?
I have not seen that. I've only seen it with audio.
Maybe it might just me, but the original clip that I was seeing played over and over again was no sound. No sound. That's interesting. I don't know why that would have been the case.
Well, because
if you would have heard the sound, you could have heard the screams and the voices and understood that, okay,
everything I've seen had audio.
This situation is already at a level 11 right now, and people are already like super tense. You would have been able to tell, because that's about the same timing where the lady's like, "Mama, you need to back up. Mama, come on now." She's freaking out. When her mom's recording and the video is all shaky all over the place.
And I don't know how many times I have to tell people this. Just cooperate. Just comply. Because at the end of the day, everybody goes home alive. Point blank period, everybody goes home alive. He wouldn't have been shot in the back 7 times. They wouldn't have dumped that magazine into his back. I'm telling you.
Yep.
This would have been completely different. And again, it's something I explained in the video that I did. Everybody, there's consequences for your actions. If you're not making smart choices, you're making dumb decisions.
Yep.
And that was a dumb decision, because you then broke yourself away from the cops.
Right.
You then went back to your vehicle. Whether there was a weapon in there or not, you already had a knife on you, so you were carrying a knife. That is considered a weapon, okay? You go and you enter back into an SUV when a cop has no idea of what could be in there.
Yeah, the unknown.
And you've already got a weapon on you.
The unknown is the problem.
Cops are trained to deal with situations like this. And if they
mostly.
it's a split-second decision, dude.
No, I get it. Now, I don't.
So-
I don't think any of this, I'll only speak for myself here. I don't think any of this is to justify the use of force that was used, the amount of shots that were used. You know, if there's other ways it could have been handled. I'm sure. I'm not saying that was right. I am personally not a fan of state power to begin with. I'm an anarchist at heart. So
well, that's where me and you probably slightly disagree.
I'm feeling like, security would still be a thing. I'm not saying that.
Right.
So and they would still carry firearms and probably still be trained very similar about how to handle situations like this. But what I am saying is, if the paradigm was completely different, if these things were handled ahead of time, if things were like a whole different setup of a free society, this would not even have been an issue. This would not be pumped up on the news media.
No,
as
Daniel.
Another example of
none of this would have ever took place if you simply would have complied.
Oh, I agree with that too. That's
in our
current paradigm.
This stops everything. This stops that domino effect.
Yeah, in our current paradigm, yes. I agree
This
with
is
you.
where you have to rationally think about what decision you make next is going to determine the outcome of what is about to transpire.
Yep.
And if you don't make that smart decision, these are the consequences. And you're going to have to live with them for the rest of your life. God willing, you survive. He did.
Yeah.
Now he's paralyzed. It didn't have to go this way.
And here's
That's what frustrates me.
Here's what breaks my heart: the little kids in the vehicle. I don't know how old they were. Kids. There were 3 sons.
That's my point.
What lesson are they going to grow up with?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, think about that. What's going to happen? Like, this guy is probably already steeped in the propaganda to the point to think that the police are just after black people. That's just, that's already part of his programming, I would say.
As it is for most black people.
As it is for most black people. And most people in general.
It's black people.
Well, okay, most leftists, really.
Well, I'm learning more and more as days go on. This is how most black people are wired.
Right, and that's why I made that post the other day, talking about
I'll be called a racist for that, too.
Yeah, and that's why I made that post the other day that from the other 98% where they were talking about, never have I gotten in my car and thought this is going to be my last, this is the end of my life. Today's where my life ends. They said that's the power of white privilege. And I corrected that. I said that's the power of propaganda because that's absolutely not true. Yeah. This is absolutely not. When you actually look at the actual studies on all this, you look at the crime victimization studies, the crime victimization studies match up with the number of blacks in jail. Yeah. And there's no other explanation for that other than victims of these crimes are reporting these crimes and then they're getting in trouble for the crimes.
And it's funny because when those black individuals come to us and tell us that we don't support black lives, you didn't listen to what I just said. If you comply, you come out alive. That is supporting black lives. Yeah. We are trying to give you some useful information to help you survive if you ever feel like that, your life is considered being threatened. Because if this was a situation where this man had no issues with the cop, didn't have a weapon, and this magazine was dumped to his back, I can guarantee you and I would be out there protesting as well. Yeah. Because that's the reality of our life. And that's what I constantly keep trying to tell people. We do care about black people. We're telling you this is what you need to do. If you feel like that the police are that much of a threat to the black community, just listen. Because I'm going to promise you one thing. It's going to weed all this shit out. Yeah. You get a white cop that goes to arrest a black guy and he's complying to every single thing and then is shot. Can you imagine the uproar? Can you imagine?
Oh, no.
Because everybody would agree. Yes.
And that would actually put the target on the actual problem.
Yes.
The state.
Yes.
Government control, government force. Yes. Okay. So in the comments, the stream bot is showing up all. Yeah. The stream bot is a way for me to keep up with comments. Mm-hmm. It basically what it does is brings all of our comments together and posts it on the Discord.
Well, this was just a quick little...
And it allows you guys to see comments being made from other social media channels as well.
Yeah, it's a good thing about Discord. You'll like it. So,
yeah, you'll see all this pop up in your general chat, by the way.
Oh, I know, and it's a great way for people like you just said. I'm just repeating what you said.
So listen, we wanted to keep this short and to the point, so we're going to go ahead and we can talk about all this later. But just the basic thing is we want to know what your guys' thoughts are about Kyle, about Jacob, about just the general situation, and I'm not even so much interested in the specific situations as I am interested in everybody else's reaction to it.
It's the human behavior.
The way people are like just acting emotionally first.
Right.
And even when, and the thing is people are so, they have such cognitive bias that even when you're presented with the actual truth of what happened, you still believe the first thing you heard. It's really hard to get people
That's
to
a
change their
bad
minds.
way of thinking, man.
People are so hard-headed and don't want to be proven wrong. I'll be the first to tell you if I'm wrong. Like, dude, this is new information I was not aware of. That's why I was going and asking these people, where's the proof that he's a white supremacist? I kind of need to know this, so it kind of plays into how I feel about this. You know, I need to know. Show me the evidence. If this is a very important detail that you really feel needs to be known, show me the evidence so I can have that information and change my view. Like, good Lord.
Anyways, we just got,
So-
we're going to wrap up.
Yep.
I got to get my bed. Oh, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I got to get myself to bed.
Yeah.
I've got to work tonight, and then I am off for 3 days on my
All right, y'all.
fishing excursion.
I will see you guys tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, followed by our Zoom call thereafter. So, yeah, y'all have a
Bye,
good day.
guys.